Imagine waking up one day to find your life savings, the money you've worked so hard for, is now worthless. It can't even buy a loaf of bread. This isn't a scene from a dystopian movie. It's a reality that has unfolded time and time again throughout history. It reveals a fragile truth about the very nature of the money in your pocket and your bank account. What is money, really? We think of it as a solid, dependable store of value. But the paper it's printed on is just that paper. Its value is a shared illusion, a collective agreement that it's worth something. When that agreement shatters, so does the entire economic system built upon it. Let's travel back to Zimbabwe in 2008. The government, desperate to pay its debts, began printing money at an astonishing rate. What happened next was hyperinflation on a scale that's hard to comprehend. Prices were doubling every 24 hours. People would get their paychecks and rush to the store immediately, knowing that by the next day, their wages would be worth half as much. Soon, wheelbarrows full of cash were needed for basic groceries. The Zimbabwean dollar, once a symbol of national pride, became a running joke. The government eventually printed a $100 trillion note, which, at the time of its issue, was barely enough to buy a bus ticket. This wasn't just an economic crisis. It was a crisis of faith. People completely lost trust in their currency. And when that trust evaporated, the money became worthless paper. This isn't a modern phenomenon. Let's rewind to the American Revolution. To fund the war against the British, the Continental Congress issued a new currency, the Continental Dollar. Initially, it was a symbol of independence and hope. But as the war dragged on and the government's financial situation grew more desperate, they printed more and more of it. There was no gold or silver to back it up, only the promise of a future victory. As British counterfeiters flooded the market and military losses mounted, that promise began to look shaky. People's confidence in the Continental Dollar plummeted. The phrase "not worth a continental" was born, a bitter testament to a currency that had lost all public trust. It was a harsh lesson for the young nation. A government's promise is only as good as the people's belief in it. Now, let's jump forward to a more recent and perhaps more relatable example. Argentina in 2001, after a decade of pegging its peso to the US dollar, the Argentine government faced a massive debt crisis. To prevent a total collapse of the banking system, they implemented the Carolito, a policy that froze bank accounts and severely restricted cash withdrawals. Imagine being told you can only access a few $100s of your own money each week. Panic ensued. People hammered on the doors of banks, demanding their savings. The trust between the people and their financial institutions was broken in an instant. The crisis led to riots, political chaos, and a deep, lasting economic depression. Argentinians learned the hard way that the money they thought was safe in the bank was only accessible as long as the system remained stable and trustworthy. These stories from Zimbabwe, revolutionary America, and Argentina are not just historical footnotes. They are stark warnings. They show us that any currency, no matter how powerful it seems, is built on a foundation of collective belief. It's a social contract. We all agree that these pieces of paper or digital numbers have value, and so they do, but that contract can be broken. Today, we live in an increasingly digital world. Most of our money isn't physical cash. It's just numbers on a screen, transferred with a tap or a click. We use credit cards, mobile payments, and online banking with an almost blind faith in the system's integrity. We assume our digital wealth is secure, always accessible, and will hold its value. But is this faith justified? Digital currencies are still vulnerable to the same fundamental weakness. The crisis of confidence, a massive cyber attack, a catastrophic grid failure, or a sudden, drastic government policy could shatter that confidence in an instant. If people suddenly fear they can't access their digital funds or that their value is disappearing, they will rush to convert them into tangible assets, creating a digital bank run that could be faster and more devastating than anything we've seen before. The rise of cryptocurrencies is another chapter in this ongoing story. Proponents see them as the future decentralized form of money free from government control and inflation. But they too are based on belief. Their value is notoriously volatile, driven by speculation and sentiment. A single tweet can send their prices soaring or crashing. While the technology is revolutionary, it doesn't escape the fundamental rule. Its value is what people believe it to be. So, what does this all mean for us right now? It means we cannot afford to be complacent. It means understanding that financial security is not guaranteed. The stability we enjoy is precious and should not be taken for granted. This isn't about spreading fear, but about encouraging awareness. It's about being vigilant, staying informed about economic policies, and understanding the systems that govern our money. History teaches us that the world can change in the blink of an eye. The most valuable asset we have isn't the money itself, but the knowledge and foresight to protect our well-being in an uncertain world. The story of money is the story of trust, and when that trust is gone, all you have left is paper. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration insightful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious and stay informed.